you want to make sure that you add this connector here. Okay, I'm going to do
Okay.
my little zoom it thing. That's what it looks like. Office 365 Outlook. Okay.
Okay.
And so if you don't see it, go in here, click on connectors, and there it is right there. Office 365 Outlook. Okay, now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say Outlook. And let's see if there's any other connectors that might confuse us. Okay, you see Outlook.com. I would recommend that you don't use Outlook.com. Okay, make sure you use this Office 365 Outlook.
Now, Darren, do you want to expand on that a little bit? Why not? What's the because for neophytes like myself with this, we need to know.
Yeah, Outlook.com has been out there for a while. Do you remember the old Hotmail? I'm sure Hotmail's still out there.
Yeah.
That was like my first email address I ever had, a Hotmail. And Microsoft has Outlook.com, and you can create, how you can create a Gmail where you can create an email address over on Outlook.com. So it's more like of a personal email address.
Okay.
If you use Office 365, you have a tenant with Microsoft, and you probably have SharePoint and all this other stuff to work in your organization. So that's usually what's going on here. If you have Power Apps, chances are you've got Office 365, and the lines are being blurred. They've got this new thing called M365. Some people say, well, you can use those two things interchangeably. Some people say, no, the M365 is includes things like Windows and other things besides Office. So,
Okay.
And until somebody makes it super simple for me, I'll continue to say use those two terms. I guess together until I figure it out. All right, so we've got this connector here, and I'm going to bring over. Let's bring over a button on the modern. Now, how do we turn on the modern controls? Well, we need to go over here into settings if we're going to use those. And I'm going to go to upcoming features. And if I'm not mistaken, it's here, modern. Is it up in general? Maybe it is general. They move things around a lot.
There it is.
So you guys see general. Well, let me try to see if I can do this right here, Kurt. Boom, general.
Look at that, like a pro.
I used options up there, settings up there. I went to general, and then where's my little red dot here? I don't know. There it is. Here you go.
Very nice, very nice. Now I did see something interesting. Go back to display once, if you could.
Okay.
I thought
I'm going to change. I always like to put that to 2000.
Go ahead and fix that too. Or I'm sorry, I said display upcoming features. I meant. Go down to it's modern. Do modern. Type in modern, like you did earlier, and you see. Well, no, because there was a modern data grid. I saw. There it is, right there.
And it was the data sheets, the data grid control.
So that is. That's a separate place, right? It's separate than the modern. And if you wanted to use the modern controls and you're looking for a modern data grid, because there is a modern data grid, you'd think, well, you got to go over here to get that, So
that's interesting.
We were just playing with that not very long ago, right? That modern data grid. It's kind of snazzy. It's kind of snazzy.
Yeah, it is. So just keeping up with all the comments here, all the hellos.
Morning, Eric.
So great for you guys to join us this morning. Okay, so now that we have that, now, Kurt, we had an issue trying to enable user-defined
did we?
Functions. Remember that?
Yeah, we did.
So we got I don't know if this is going to, I don't know if this is, go ahead.
Sorry, Darren. It looks like we got the right version.
Oh, really? We're already at the right version.
It looks like it.
Okay, so that means if I go into settings and I go to upcoming features and it's under experimental, unless they've moved it around, okay, I do not see it. So 12.8 is the latest. Looks like that's the core. So,
well, 24 was the deal, right? We had to make sure we had 24.
Mm-hmm.
It should be at the very bottom. The UDF should be at the very bottom of your upcoming features.
Okay, I'll go back and look at that. So I thought it was an experimental. I think I remember that, but I
I
didn't
think
see it
so.
here. Okay. So that's why I was going into the
No,
version. I
it's
didn't see it
not.
here.
It's not in there.
So I'm going to go down and let's try to go maybe not the very late the the bleeding edge. Let's go back to 1317 and see if we can
Okay.
get at the user defined functions there because it's so powerful.
It really
And
is.
you know what, Kurt, you and I are developers, and I think a lot of people come to us and view a lot of our video, our content, because we teach this from the slant of software developers.
That's
So
right.
user defined functions are so important. Uh,
They really are.
Such a huge feature that they released here recently. And to be honest, it was a very popular video. The videos performed very well. I think we have over 2,000 views in a week, which is I think is pretty decent for the niche, um, niche content like we're providing. Okay,
There
there
they
we
are.
go.
So 24 version 24 isn't enough. You got to go beyond. You got to go to at least 13, 17 there, huh?
Yeah, I went with 13, 17. And if we have any problems, I'm just going to go up to the more recent one. Maybe they got some bug fixes or something.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
I'm going to go down to experimental. I'm going to go all the way down. User defined functions. Probably going to tell me I had to do something else. There's
Oh
the
yeah,
engine.
got to turn the engine on. Yeah.
Would you mind making some engine sound starting up?
Vroom, vroom,
Boop,
vroom.
boop, 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 boop.
So yeah, so this is a sign that Power Apps is growing up. Now it's not there yet. Okay, these user-defined functions are still limited because you cannot do commands in there like you do with the on select, like you do in events. You can't do a list of commands to run. You've got to do a function that is similar to that, which would be assigning a text value to a text input box or a label or something. Some kind of an assignment. But I think that's just on the way to get there, right?
My mind is a little preoccupied. I try to turn this on, and it's
Oh,
telling me I
okay.
have to turn on the analysis engine. So I went and searched for that, and I turned that on, and now it's telling me, remember all the problems that we had? So everybody else is experiencing the same problems here. So the feature collection access and component scope must be disabled. Okay.
Okay.
So let me go find that component scope. So I guess I'll turn that off. It has to have that off. All right, so I'm going to close. I'm going to save. Sometimes I just publish because I don't know. It just like when I come back in, I close out and come back in. Remember what was happening last week? It was reverting back to a previous version.
Yep.
So I'm going to do a publish. Hopefully it won't take me back to an earlier version there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit back. And while that's working, this is just a reminder of this is the roadmap for this live stream. Okay, and I'm going to go back in and edit this. Now, while that's loading up, I want to show you guys if you're in Power Apps, and you could say start with an app template. Okay, or you go to home and say, hey, start with a template. So it's going to show you all the templates here. Now, what you'll notice is there is a Power Apps training for Office right here. Okay. Now, you guys might be familiar also with the Power Apps training app. I've got a video. It's one of my earliest videos where I sort of walk through and show everybody all the features in the Power Apps training app. So this is separate than that. So when I clicked on that, I had this app that came up. Now, if we go look, these older versions of Power Apps, when these were written in, they don't have data sources in here. So I can't show you all the connectors, but we have, so this is a screen that shows you how to do a people picker with Office. You can interface with Planner, Microsoft Planner. And so here's one. Well, it shows you how to do email. And I would say sending email is probably the most well-known thing that you can do with Outlook. OneNote. Okay. And we have a pop-up screen. Just wanted to show you some of these things that they try to teach us and show us. What do you think of this, Kurt? Sometimes in these templates, Microsoft will put like a little documentation screen showing all of the collection variables and all the global variables. That's sort of cool, isn't it?
I absolutely like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Inside the app. That's sort of nice. But I just wanted to mention that. I'm not going to go over it at all. It really does. There's not a lot of depth there where this walkthrough will have a lot of depth to it. Okay. So, um, do we have modern controls here? We do. Do we have user defined functions? Let's verify that. Okay. It went back to this. It's a little frustrating, isn't it?
It is.
I'm gonna go up to the most recent one. Yeah. So, guys, if you're watching this a few weeks or a few months from now, and you're watching this video, hopefully you're not encountering all these issues. It may be when they do fix all this, I can sort of cut this part of the video out. But right now, this is very pertinent. You guys are going to encounter the same issues that we're going to have. But just sort of going back to what we're going to do here. So email integration. So I sort of want to create my own Outlook front end with Power Apps. I think that would be really cool. And it will give us a lot of ideas of how we might take one of these components like task management or something, and create a little app around that, or create that feature in an existing app that you're working on. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to go in, make sure that we are looking at a recent version. Okay, we are 14.10. So maybe they fixed something in that later version. Scroll all the way down. User defined functions. It would be cool if when they say, "Hey, if you turn this on, you got to turn on some other things," and
Right. Or just
can you just turn it on for me? Like,
yeah.
A full page refresh. Okay. Now, here's a $1 million question, Kurt. Do I get out and come back in, or do I just roll with it?
Just roll with it. I think you're better off.
Yeah. What are the 4 or 5 elements of a user-defined function? I might say
the 4 or 5 elements.
So we've got a name of a user-defined function.
You have the name, you have the parameters, you have the return, and you have the body.
Get my mail. All right. And we could have parameters in there. For now, I want to have the return value. Okay. So instead of it popping up like it did before, now I've got all kinds of stuff here. Can I return a table now?
Oh, look at that. We got GUIDs.
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff.
But no table yet.
So that might make it a little difficult. I'd like to return a table value or collection. That would be great.
Yeah, it might be hard.
So for right now, let's just
set it up without the functions, and we'll deal with that later. And if we could come up with something slick and an easy function that could go into that, as we're defining the request to get mail or something,
So look at this. So we're going to use the name of the connector, Office365 Outlook. Okay. .get mail. So how many get mails do we have? We have 3 of them.
Wow.
Typically you want to use the latest version, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So the path. Okay, that would be interesting. Let me got an assistant over here on the other screen. Show me a code example using that. Let's see if it gives me something. Okay. So what we're looking for, I'm gonna copy that code actually. This looks good. So if you guys don't know, I'm using AI over here to help me out. Okay. If you're offended by that, I'm sorry. I feel like it's using a calculator. It's like, how'd you get that number? Long division? Really? You know how to use you know how to do long division? I use a calculator. What? Why? Oh. All right. So we've got these parameters in here. Okay. So you see, I was about to say folder. Well, what do I put in a folder path? Is that like inbox? You know what I mean? And so we have, maybe this is how I can sort of pull stuff back, like if like this is a query string or something. So I'm gonna have it return the top 100 emails, and I got to be careful. This, I don't really use this email box, but a lot of times people's logons and passwords are carboned in on me, so I need to be careful here. So what I have, I've got this item dot. Okay, I want to stay away from using body. I think I'd like from. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, there's from. And then on this, let's say maybe subject align. Yeah, let's do subject. Now, why don't I have any data here? Okay. Skip 0. Okay. So guys, this is the first time I've used this. I've looked at all these parameters before, and I just wanted always to start using this, and it always starts with some type of discovery, right?
Well, so much of our stuff is about exploring. That's what we do mostly on Saturdays, right? We explore the idea, explore stuff.
Okay, we didn't find any data. Okay. Okay, so I'll give you a description of what these things mean. So the top 10, of course, is just going to give us the top 10 emails that it finds. Skip 0 means it starts from the first email. You can use this for pagination. That's sort of cool. I like that.
It's very cool. Yeah.
Search query. So we specified inbox. It specifies the email should be retrieved from the inbox. And I almost would have thought that would have been the folder path. But once you set this up, the gallery will display at least 10 emails from the user's inbox. You can customize the gallery to show various details about each email, such as sender, subject, retrieval date. Remember to use the Office 365 connector. You need it to add it to your app. Okay. But all right, using this, but no data is coming back.
I kind of like the idea of putting inbox in folder path just to see what it does. You know, how many times do we do these things and they're not, Microsoft had bugs or they were wrong or something in them, right?
True. And AI is never wrong, by the way.
No.
Okay, now let's see if we've
in the search query, wouldn't that be like everything? Like if it was empty, it should be like an empty thing, and it should just, or like if I'm searching for a name or something, right?
I don't know. I do not know. What else were you thinking?
Well, so I was just thinking that, probably you're not going to have inbox in your query, your search query. It's like the name inbox isn't going to be in there. I don't know.
So I just commented that out. So folder path should be inbox. Okay, so let's put a capital I there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up here so I can see. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Outlook Web Access and in a window up here, and the I is capitalized for inbox. Okay, no difference there. Now, I wonder what I should be doing is using a button here, and I'll use update context. And what I'm going to say is loc emails. I like to format this up a little bit. Oop, I don't like how that looks. Oh, come on. What are they doing to me? Okay, there we go. Now we can indent stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to use that. I'm going to click on that button there. And I'm just going to put that little variable there. Do we have anything? Nope. Okay. I'm going to go back here and put this back in. I'm going to comment that out. Of course, I have to do that with the right there. Put a capital I there. Hopefully that will make a difference. Okay. All right. So guys, let's put our heads together here. So I told ChatGPT, hey, it's not returning anything. It says check permissions, connection status, make sure the connection, okay, correct the account, ensure you're logged in. Well, I know right here, look at me. I'm logged on as myself here. Query parameters. Ensure that top, skip, and search query parameters are correctly set. Okay. Well, if I go in here, let's pull back something serious like 100. Okay. Now, see if that makes any difference at all. Doesn't seem to be. Okay. And we're not getting any errors whatsoever. Data. Okay. So what I'm going to do, could use version 2 to see what's up, where I can Google the official documentation on this. And guys, if you want to copy the show notes, I don't think I actually ever pasted that. So I'll put that in the chat. You can see any notes or anything I can put here, put there for you. Okay, refresh the data source. Okay, that's interesting. So if I can't refresh it. Okay. I think it's interesting now they allow us to name. We can name our all right, Kurt. So you just sent me something that might help us out here. So I'm looking at what you just sent me. Text property, the first label ID. Okay, select the label and go over and name it to email ID. Okay. Let's see if we can some other things here. I'm going to show you guys this this link here. And then I'm also going to put that link there for you guys. Okay. On the insert menu, select gallery. Okay. Get emails. Fetch only unread. I sort of like that.
Yeah.
Of course, they put it to false. Okay, what happens if we were just to use this? Now they don't even use the later versions. It's, I guess, the old. So I'm sort of curious if it's
I mean, maybe we could try that and work forward, right?
Yeah. And this could end up being a series. If there's a lot of interest, if I see a lot of people enjoying and engaging in this, then
Be right back.
sure. All right, so I'm gonna hit that button now. Oh, it looks like it's getting something now, guys. I'm excited. Of course, it's returning different type of data. So let's say, oh, this is great. Looks like the old version is yeah, it's got all kinds of stuff here. I like this. Okay, so I want to know who it's from. Okay. And then over here, I want to know subject. I like that. And that's, there we go. And I think what I'll do here is I'll probably just take the first 50 characters of that. And I'm going to make this a little wider there. There go, guys. Put these buttons at the top. Not sure exactly how I'm going to use them as of yet. There we go. We're back to having fun here. All right. So, guys, I've got things set up in my application template, my Jumpstart kit, to everything sort of dynamically sizes and moves relative to the things around it. It's sort of like my way of doing responsive design.
It is responsive. It is responsive.
So you see, I get a lot of emails from Microsoft here. My only problem with that, Kurt, is it doesn't really look like an email address because it's not blue. I gotta have my email addresses turn up as blue. Maybe I'll do something like that and make it underline. That looks like an email address now. So up here, say from. I wonder if I said dot or if it was like to give me, whenever you get an email from somebody, it doesn't necessarily show their email address. Like if there's a name that was associated with it.
Right.
So if I say from like name or something, oh, well, that's fine. And data is king. Kendall says it would be nice to see how you can handle delete Outlook messages from Power Apps. Yeah, let's get it done. I mean, so this is what's on the agenda, guys. We already know how to do send email, but get emails is what we're working on right now. Get forward emails, reply, and delete. So delete. I'd like to get through all this. It's exciting. I like it. So this is going to be subject. Now, you know what I like to see sometimes? I'm looking for when I go to my email, sometimes I'm looking just for emails that you've sent me, Kurt.
Right. Well, now that example that you had up on the screen earlier, do you still have that available? Can we go back to that real quick?
Yeah. Are you talking about the V3?
Well, I'm talking about the showmet, the documentation that you were looking at, the example.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, now look at this right here with you got get emails with the fetch only on red, and you got folder path.
Yeah.
Did you put all that in there yet? That's kind of neat stuff there, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can go all kinds of different ways, guys. I mean, yeah, so we can set you know what I want to get? I'd like to get a full list of all the folders. You ever organize your emails in folders?
I bet there's a get folders. I bet there's a get folders.
So now, does this go dynamic? Okay, it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the name of this gallery. And right here, I'm just using a rectangle. So on the rectangle, I'm going to say gallery.y minus self.height. And there we go. It moves around with the gallery. Now, let's see if we got modern controls. We do. So let's use some modern controls in here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to have some drop downs. Let's use a drop down. Put a drop down in here. Okay, there we go. And so does a modern drop down list have something like a hint text? So if I said sender, okay, I don't see that there. That's the accessible level label. So people that are, have a disability, it has something there for a screen reader to say, okay, sender required base palette. There's something in here. And maybe I'm thinking of the classic one. So I'm hoping they add all the properties that we had in the classic ones over here. So what I'm gonna do I'm going to take that and I'm going to go use this, and then I'm going to do a distinct. And I'm going to say from. Okay. And then for the fields now, it should be just value. I'm glad it only showed me value. Okay. So these are all the people. Now let's see what we can do over here in this button, because it's giving me all the emails in the whole thing. I don't know if that's true though. I think I've got quite a few emails besides that. But over here in the documentation,
you could say top number, right?
So I'm wondering what the default is if we don't include that top. And maybe that's what is at play here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a modern label, and the label's at the bottom instead of the top. Put that over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference our local variable that's got our table. And I'm going to say count rows 10. So if you don't tell it,
it does 10.
It just does 10. That's a little frustrating. It's not a lot. Okay, so let's use some of these other parameters here. So says top. Let's do like 200. Okay. It still says 10 over here. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay. Let's go back over and see what else we can do. So they've got,
how many unread versus?
I think I've got them all marked as red. But we can change that up a little bit. Let's say true. Let's see what comes back when I do that. No scene. Nothing is.
No scene?
Nothing is returned there. So I'm going to say, what happens, Kurt, if we just comment that out? Does it get both of them? Nothing. Okay.
No
well,
scene.
That's going to be important to keep in there. Yeah, I'm watching the comments. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, I've got them all marked as red. Okay, so we've got Giddy must 3 folder path inbox.value. Okay, so the question is, so I did something very similar to that and it didn't work. So if I just said folder path inbox according and let's see, I'm going to take that out. Let's just see if this, of course, my labels aren't set up for the V3, but I'm up for trying it. I think what I will do is duplicate this screen. So in here, get rid of that. Folder path inbox. And then we've got the dot value there. Okay. And I want to say V3. Okay. Because I don't want, well, we are using a local variable, aren't we? So we're going to be safe. That's the beauty of using a local variable, guys. Isn't that nice? So now it's going to be a lowercase from. Okay. And here we're going to say subject. Okay. I'll hit that button there and let's see what comes up. Nothing. So that V3 just doesn't like me.
Hmm. Of course, we have a V2 in there too.
Yeah. I think it's a capital V. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try it out. I'm up for trying different things. See, I think it uses completely different. Like it doesn't like from now. Now we just have dot value. Like really?
Wow. What's
This is a little bit of a mess, huh? This is the one that I've gotten to work so far. Just this get emails. I'll rerun that. But what's funny is I'm not getting any of the rows now. Notice that? You know what I am going to do? Something that we don't try out enough as Power Ups developers is get out of it and come back in. And hopefully it doesn't knock.
That happens so much. That answers so many problems. It's so silly. You could just be banging your head against the wall over some dumb stuff, and you're thinking, "I know this. This is working," and then you leave and come back in, and everything's working.
Yeah, it happens more than I'd like to admit. All right, I'm going to hit that button, and at this point, I almost want to get away from using this button and just. You have anything in there? No data. Okay. I am going to take this, copy that, and I'm going to put it down here. And instead of using that local variable, I'll just use this. Format the text. So as we change it, it should show up down there below. So I'll put false there. There we go. I'm going to put 2000 here. Let's see what we get. And in that label, I can say all items. And it's just going to give me 10. Guys, this is a little frustrating. Ugh. Did I say 10? No. I said top 2000. All right, so let's go back over here. What do we got here? Okay, we got a search query, top 2 folder path. Sending message with attachment. Here's delete attachment. In the gallery, set the text property of the first label to this item ID. So they want to see ID, subject, and body. Email ID. Okay. So it just needs the email ID to delete it. So Kurt, would you mind sending me an email to my Power Labs US email address? And I'm gonna just paste it over here, and I'm gonna start deleting some. So feel free to send me lots of email here.
Okay.
What was that? What was that sound?
That was uh-oh.
So I see in the private chat, Thomas has a question about user-defined functions. any mention the issue of Power Apps with the Boolean fields. Now that is a frustration that I have with Dataverse. As of now, there's no way to do Boolean. So you create a choice of yes, no. So I'm trying to think if user-defined functions could help us with that. I don't think so in its current state because we're limited by the types of values. So I just wanted to answer your question there, Thomas. We can.
As you're talking, sorry, Darren, didn't mean to cut you off. As you were talking, I thought of something though. You could use a function that would handle the Boolean true false and then convert it to a Y or an N, for your data type.
Absolutely. I
So
like that.
You could put a Boolean wrapper in there to make your data source be a true Boolean, right? Or make one look like
that. I like that. And I see Thomas says nice. And then JV says, will this cover sending of email using a shared email box? I would think so. I haven't looked into that yet. I mean, right now, maybe by default, it's just giving me my own mailbox. But if I set this thing up, maybe because I know with Power Automate, there's a little section when you're working with this particular connector, you'll see a little ellipsis in the lower right corner, and you can change the account that it's looking at. So that might be a great use case of creating a front end with Power Apps that is looking at a shared mailbox. Because a lot of times people don't look at shared mailboxes, even though they're a part of them,
I sent you an email, by the way, so hopefully you're seeing something here.
Okay, so let's go in here and let me look at. I'm going to say because your email came in and it's not read yet.
Okay,
so I'm going to say true. Let's see if that thing comes back. Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Look at that! Just look at it.
Just look at it. Now, if I say false here, will it give me both read and unread? And it looks like it does. Okay. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I want to know when a particular email got to me, or when it was sent or whatever here. And I'm going to say 300 there, move this around, maybe right align it, and I could go in here and say, take out all the left stuff, received. Okay, here we go. Look at this. This is nice.
Send another one. Just send another one.
Yeah. So this is the I can do this all day. Yeah. So if you look at this, I'm not getting any this isn't automatically refreshing with my email box. You notice that? So you send another one. So
well, you know how to do that, don't you?
How do you do that, Kurt? Put it back into a variable?
Put it into a timer. Put a timer on that gallery and do a reset on the gallery.
That's true. That's true.
It's cheating, but it works. Until we can find a more elegant way of doing it anyway. Yeah. Sometimes just brute strength is what makes things work. Kind of like a bubble sort, right? There's nothing fancy about it. Just brute strength.
Yeah. There we go. So I could have a button here called Get Mail. And boom, look at all these people here. Okay. So, and it's only giving me 10 items. And that's true. Maybe this connector has a limitation of only 10. I mean, what if I say 11? That's really annoying. Okay, so we're using V1 of this method. Got that one to work. only turning 10 emails. Matter the number I put in. What is the parameter name for that? See if it gives me good ideas there. So, 20 there. Hit that again, and no matter what, it's only going to give me 10. The good thing is I can't believe I'm on TV. You know what's funny, guys? You guys see my email address, or you guys could be sending me emails, and it's going to show up on my screen in the live stream.
Come on, guys, bombard him. Just hit him in the head. Just.
Okay, so something that my buddy Chatty over here is telling me that we've got this skip stuff.
Oh, you got to have skip in there.
We do have skip. Okay, so skip 0.
0. Right, we didn't put skip in there.
Still getting 10. Well, if I said 1 here, what's that going to do to me?
It's like it's not. It doesn't recognize that top.
Yeah.
So your code, in every example I've ever seen on this, the top is in the second parameter. I don't know if that matters. Are you in the second parameter? So right after the fetch only. Yep, you're there. Nope. Yep. Skip. Top skip.
So if I put a comma in here, it doesn't look like we have any other parameters. But
now. Yeah, that's good, Darren.
Okay, so yeah, my buddy Chatty over here is giving me a lot of number one default limitation. The get emails one method might have a default limitation on the number of emails. Okay, so I'd like to get around that. You know, I can query a SharePoint list and get 2,000 back. You know, why can't I do that with an email? I don't think I've got 2,000 emails in this particular mailbox. But in my main one, I would, and maybe I want to work with them, you know? So something that I was thinking of doing was using this drop down. So what's our Hungarian prefix for drop down? Did we decide the other day?
DRP.
DRP. Senders. Okay. So let's use that. And let's go over here to our button. And let's see if we can say sender. Search query. Okay, let's do a search query. And we'll say DRP senders dot selected. Well, it could be multiple items. Right now, I'm just going to keep it as a single. Selected dot value. There we go. All right, so I want to see everything from Kurt. Well, that was funny. Incredible. Oh, we got an error this time, Kurt.
Well, there we have it.
Skip is not supported with search. Okay. I'm going to take skip out.
You know, they could have just told us that. Look at this.
And we've got 10 messages. This is really interesting. This is fun. Oh, Adam says try less than 10 and see what happens there.
Okay. I think we did. Well, we said 0. Yeah, just try 3 or something.
You know what I want to do, Kurt? Let's put in text input that'll allow us to put in a a number, and it'll be dynamic. My mentor always taught me to do it. Make things dynamic, Darren. And I'm looking for This is hilarious. With the classic text entry, text input, we could say, just give me numbers, but I can't do that with the modern. Notice that?
Yeah.
They got a ways to go with these modern controls, I think.
It's just human nature to try to make things simpler, and then we make it more complicated every time we try to make things simpler.
Yeah.
It's kind of like IT, right? IT was created to make things simpler for the people that don't know anything about computers. And for the people that don't know anything about computers, how hard is it to get anything done with IT? No.
No, you can't do that. It's not
Can we do
secure.
it? No.
You'll create a mess that we have to clean up later. No.
You hear the walls vibrate. No.
Okay, let me do this. Okay, so here we're going to say two. I only want to see 2 emails from Kurt.
That's not
Well,
true.
I don't have Kurt selected here anymore, but oh my goodness, that doesn't even do anything. That was a great idea, Adam. Yeah, so that top thing doesn't do anything.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so Chatty says there might be a maximum limit to the number of emails that can be retrieved per request, and this limit is often set by the service. In this case, the connectors, and there might be something that I have to configure as an admin. Okay, so if I go in and try to configure some stuff here within admin.microsoft.com, and I go to show all, and I try to manage. It's like if I go into my my Exchange management thing here, maybe there's some things that I can
Mail flow. What's that mail flow?
Mail flow, manage organization settings for sending and receiving messages.
That looks
promising. But look at this list view.
Yeah.
What?
Look at that minimum number. I saw 10 there.
Where? Mail flow?
Mail flow. Yeah, look. So reply all storm. Reply all. Oh, that's replies. Minimum number of recipients. Okay.
You can only do 20. Okay.
But that's reply. That's different. That's not the same thing.
Let's look at list view preferences because that might really have something to do with it there.
Yeah, don't listen to me there. I can't. I'll send you down the wall.
List view varies on each page.
Varies on each page.
I mean, what we're doing is really using an API, other features.
Now, another suggestion we could throw out there is that we'll go down this beaten path a little while, and then what we can do is we can say, hey, let's just assume 10 for today and try to look at some of these other features. Because we could end up spending the whole live stream looking at this thing, right?
Yeah. And generally what happens after I get off the live stream is bugging me, and like in 10 minutes I figure it out, and I'm like,
But we know we can get it to work with 10, right? So let's just say, well, we're only going to get 10.
Right.
So
all right.
Just so we can see some of these other things.
Yeah. Okay. So let's work on deleting an email here. I'm gonna put in a little button, and I'm gonna
you know, guys, that's the first thing he did. He selected my name and said, "Let's work on deleting things here," because that's what he does when he sees my emails. He just delete. That's what he does, and he listens to about every third word I say. So I'm just complaining about my boss today. I'm just teasing there.
And I, in the gallery, I don't like to clutter the whole thing with a bunch of things. So I typically go to visible and say this item dot is selected. Okay. And then, so hopefully Kindle will really like this. Data is king. So we'll select the parent. Sure, that's fine. And then what we're going to do is Office365 Outlook. Okay. And what we want to do, if I go back to my notes here, it's delete email.
Oh boy. He says, Sanka says in the parameter top, T should be in lowercase.
Really?
Tell me that's not so. Tell me that's not the only problem. Would
Oh
that
my
not
god.
be so typical?
Oh my goodness.
Would that
I'm gonna have to give this person something for
Oh
free. If
my
you fix that,
he
oh my
did.
goodness.
Ah!
So say okay, I'm pulling this up. I'm gonna give him credit for it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I read it up there and said, Darren, we didn't see how simple stuff.
You know what? Here's a question. I'm gonna shorten your name because I think I'm gonna not pronounce your whole name right. Okay. Now, Kurt, if you think you can do this, let me know. But I'm just gonna say Sank. Sank, what would you like? What would you like? I'm gonna give you something for free here. Okay. Well, you know what I'm gonna give him for
I'd say
free?
give him a month of PPC for free.
I might give him yeah, a whole year maybe. I don't know. What do you think? The question is, Sank, are you in? Well, I'll go over here and I'll search Sank. Nope. I You need to join the community here. So
Well,
I'm going to put
yeah.
the link here. Okay. Now, Kurt, we're giving him the personal pocket coaching for free here for helping us out in a big way. Love it. What is this personal pocket coaching and why is that such a sweet thing for him to have?
Well, that's a big deal. That's a big deal to me. You know, we could go on and on about this PPC. I call it the PPC, but what it really is, it's a bite-sized video every day. Bite-sized meaning like 5-10 minutes. And of course, you know, me and Darren, we can't show anything in 5 or 10 minutes. So it might be 12 minutes sometimes. So, but we can do 10-minute video every morning in your email box, and it's going to just be a topic on Power Apps, and it's going to be something that we're going to work with. Now, if you know, it's a random thing. It will appear to be random to you guys. We might do a series here or a series there. But if you guys ever need anything, you know, and we don't have it, well, we'll just make a PPC out of it. You know, we'll do it. We'll see if we can't make a video for it. So your recommendations will be taken in. But what I love about it is it's straight, concise, to the point. It teaches people programming concepts that I believe in, the fundamentals, and it builds a reference library for you. So this thing is huge, man. And I mean, the price is so underpriced, I think. I keep telling Darren it's way underpriced, but because I just know what it takes to build a reference as a programmer. You guys know that you use 10% of your language 90% of the time, and then the other 90% of the language you use maybe 10%, and you got to go reach for it. So it's not about what you can remember in programming, what you can remember in your head. It's about knowing where your reference material's at. So this is so important, I think, as a developer, you know. So I could go on about, but is that about as long as you want me to go on there? And I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. So Sync, if you go over or tell me what either your first or your last name, so I can find your user account over there and gift you that. But yeah, what you said was perfect, Kurt. And if you go over here right now, we're running at 50% off. So how much does it cost a month? Well, it costs about $100 a month, but right now it's 47 a month. Okay. Now, no one has bought the monthly. Everybody has bought the annual.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, Kurt?
Because it's just a better value. It just makes sense. And I just can't believe how many people have been buying this thing too. I mean, it's like I knew it was going to be a big deal, but it's really a big deal. You know, I mean, beyond what my expectations.
Well, if they sign up for the annual, they get the Jumpstart kit, and I sell that for 250. They get the full ticketing system course. I used to sell it for 1,000. Right now, I'm selling it for 500. And then you get a half-hour tutoring session with both me and Kurt. That right there is $1,000 value that you're getting as a bonus just for signing up for the PPC.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then for you accelerator students, and a lot of the accelerator students have already done this, you guys get 75% off. And this was a way for us to continuously hit you every day in your email box. Hey, daily dose of Kurt and Darren here. And sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Kurt, sometimes it's both of us.
Yeah.
But I mean, just look at all the topics that we have so far. We covered UDFs very thoroughly. We had a whole series of them. We still have some more material about loops, rules of loops, rules of iteration here.
Yeah, like we said,
Um,
we try to teach fundamentals as well, you know, in here. And
yeah.
and it's for everybody. It's for advanced programmers, it's for beginners. You know, we're gonna have beginning level stuff in here, videos in there. And you know, as an advanced programmer, you guys, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. How many times do you go back and you revisit the fundamentals and you pick up something that you missed, you know, or you find a different approach or a new perspective on the same old thing that you've learned 20 years ago. So it's always good to go back over that stuff, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
And
just
I'm
can't.
gonna make sure the link is displayed at the top so you guys can find the community.
Yeah.
Um, but guys, even if you're not interested in PPC, personal pocket coaching, my crash course, I sold this for like 2 to 3 years, and I actually offer this as a free crash course within the community. And there's a lot of good stuff. The 10 things you must know, but also build an app in a day. What type of app do you build in a day? We build a service desk application. That's much better than Microsoft's default one that they released there.
Yeah.
So wanted to mention that. Okay.
And
So
isn't it funny? Isn't this example just so typical, right? We can be. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. Darren's been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this a little bit longer than he, and we can get hung up on. We know all these things. We know how to program like you know in our sleep, but we'll miss something like a lowercase t. Changed everything. We were going round, around, round, round. How many times you guys done that, right? And there's this one little thing, and you're going, ah, it's so awesome. But that's what programming is. I love what Adam M said. He said, I live troubleshooting my broken life. You know, that's what life is, right? Life ain't nothing but troubleshooting. That's what we do. That's what life is, right? Navigating through this thing. It's great.
yeah. So I just learned something. So I'm like, okay, well, now that we got this thing to work, I'm like, I try to use 2000. Oh, there's a user called Power Rangers. How apropos using Power Apps, the Power Platform got Power Rangers. That's cool.
Dang. I should have got that before you did. I should have got that one. That was perfect. I love it.
All right. So in here, look at this error message. Less than 25. Oh my goodness, 25 is the max.
Okay. They could have said that. You know, they could have said that in the thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I mean,
so 25 is the max. So we'll have to do some pagination down here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I need to have like a next button. Well, I'll use this thing as the next button. How about that? And of course, we'll have to have a local variable that does this, right? So on select, we'll say update context. I'll say loc skip, or I'll say page. Take that value +1. I mean, if we were in C++, we'd say LOC page ++, right? Are you froze?
No, I'm right here.
Are you feeling okay? I mean, usually you're
I'm just trying to do some research for you over here while you're
okay.
doing
I was
your
gonna say something's wrong. Kurt is speechless. Like, really?
no. I'm trying to be helpful here. Quit picking on me, Darren.
I am picking on you. All right, so I've got this, and let's put in here. Yeah, let's keep the skip in here, and now we're gonna use that LOC skip or page. Yeah, page. Okay, what's the value of it? Well, we need to go to a different screen and come back to sort of fire that LOC page. Okay, and I'm going to take this code here, and what I'm going to do is say button get mail, get the name of that, and then over this is a little trick that me and Kurt came up with. You can say select the button that's got that code in it. I don't want to copy and paste code. There's a programming concept that you don't violate. It's called don't repeat yourself. So if you got code somewhere else, either you call it from over there, or you put it in app formulas. Right?
Dude, that's a pro tip right there. That's a pro tip, man. Because here's the thing. How many times there's just no way to do that. There's no way to create something so that you don't have to do it twice in Power Apps, like that. So that button is a way to do that. So basically a procedure call. You make that button name a procedure call and select that procedure. That's pretty smooth.
So when I go get the email, now check this out, Kurt. I say 25. It told me I can go up to 25. Okay, and this page is at 0. Okay, now did I get 25? According to this variable, I didn't. I just got 10. Is that not frustrating, man? Being a developer, it's like unpredictable. And maybe that's why there's a version 2 and a version 3. All right, so I'm going to go look at this. What do we have here? Delete email. What we need to have here is this item.id. That's what it's looking for.
Now, are you sure you got that many emails in there?
So what I'm trying to do is just delete this last email that you just sent me. Mm-hmm. And so if I oh yeah, I've got. You're saying, do I have 25? Yeah, I've got.
Okay.
If I'm in my inbox, I say select all. It should tell me how many I have. And it's not. At least I don't see it or know. So it's okay. 542 items, and 3 of them are in red, and those are the 3 emails that you just sent me. Okay. So I got 542. Now, if I hit next, did I get an error or something? What happened here? Okay, so we did that. So now we need to say select that button. Okay. I'm going to go to a different screen and then come back. I hit next. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we do have an error. Let's see what the error is. It might tell me, hey, you can't use that skip stuff.
It's angry.
Skip is not supported with search. Okay. Well, let me take that out of there. Man, we're learning all kinds of stuff here, Kurt.
We are.
We're going to have to start doing if statements and gee whiz. Okay. Kurt can do this all day. Did it delete one of them? Because I thought you sent me a third one.
I did. I can't believe I'm on live TV. He's gone.
You said you could do this all day, so I'm going to hit delete. Now, notice what. Now, do I have an error or anything? No error. It did not refresh the list. So in this delete, what I need to do is say select that button. And then it's going to refresh it. Now, so I've got to go down here and say, here I am. I delete that, and then we'll do the refresh, and then both of those emails from you should be gone. All right, so let's go back to our list. Let's see how we're doing here. So there's tons of video content out there on how to send an email. And if this is a series, we'll eventually get to that. So we've done get emails, we got forward, and reply to all.
Now, before we go there, Ben Lidford, he just said, do we need to skip 25 to effectively show 25 emails from 26 onwards? That's a good question.
Okay, now if I hit next right now, see where it says your team's meeting recording has expired. Okay. If I hit next. Okay.
Would have been better to look at the date, maybe.
You're right. Okay. Oh, we have one more from Kurt. Okay. 127, 126. Boom. Go to the next page. Okay. I need to do like a previous too, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of fun creating our own little email client, huh?
We're learning a lot too, man.
Yeah.
Be right
So
back.
instead of going up one, we're going to go down one. Okay. We should probably display that in a little, little label here, right? So we'll say LOC page, and we are getting 25 at a time. Next, next. You're gone. You left me, Kurt. You know I've got abandonment issues, right? Okay. I like the loading spinner GIF. Yeah, the loading spinner, that's actually part of my jumpstart kit. That's actually what you get for as a bonus, no additional charge if you buy the personal pocket coaching at the annual. You get my jumpstart kit. So yeah, here's the spinner. And you know what? If you go with a completely different color, the spinner changes with it. Um, we've been using the blue theme, but we could probably change it up and get some more color in here, you know? I really like that light theme. Yeah, looks nicer that way. So, Ben, to answer your question, I don't think so. I think the skip is like the set of 25. And then yeah, it'd be nice to know how many emails are total in the box dynamically so that I could have maybe a slider at the bottom and I could just like move the slider and it will go to that skip or that page in the pagination. So if I go next, you see the page, the skip is 1. If I hit next again, I don't know why everything's selected. Okay. So there's skip 2. Hit it again. See, it says 125. Okay, this is interesting here. So I see 125, and if I hit next, I'm still seeing 125. So there's something else afoot. We are using that variable there, and it says 4. So if you look, Kurt, at what we're looking at here, see, it says skip 4. If I go to a different screen and then come back, everything is reinitialized. And I've got you at the top. I go down to the very bottom. What's the date? 116. If I hit next, do I have 116 at the top? I don't. Maybe Ben is right here. So what we need to do is say, because we're getting 25 at a time, we need to say the page times 25.
Huh.
You think?
But I thought you could only return so many at a time, though.
Okay, so if I say next, yeah. So Ben says, do we need to skip 25 to effectively show 25 emails from 26 onward? Yeah, it seems like you gotta, we got 25 things there. We hit next, and we're gonna multiply that by this. Isn't that interesting? But we got to be careful that when we're on 0, or is it ever 0? Nothing ever sets it to 0 because you got to be careful about multiplying and dividing by 0. Okay, that works. 1 over, we should see 116. We'll go over, and what do we have here? 1229. That looks nice. Okay, so I say previous, and then previous, and I should see your email. I'm learning a lot here. This is good stuff.
So explain what you did again, because I'm kind of got lost in that.
Okay, yeah, sure. So what I was doing was I was using a integer, and it started with 0, and then we incremented it to 1. I was thinking that this was like the next page of 25 records, just by saying 1. If we increase it to 2, we'd go to the third 25 records. But that's not the case. Because we're asking for 25, which is the most, we're asking for 25 at a time. We need to multiply that little integer that's being incremented or decremented by 25.
So how's it seeing which set of 25 to get? I mean, if you can only send, you're saying, so if I've got 2, if LOC page is 2 times 25, now we're at 50, but I can only send 25 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm not understanding, how's it knowing which group of 25 to grab?
Maybe it starts at what? So let's say we've got, okay, so right now it is 0. 0 multiplied by 25 is going to be 0. So that's the first base. So we're just going to start with the very first record that started and give me 25 records. So we start at the top, the most recent emails. Okay. So we get 25. And then we click on these 2 buttons. This button increments by 1 or decrements by 1. Mm-hmm. So you see we have 0 there.
Yep.
Okay. Now, when we hit next, we're going to say 1 times 25, which is 25. So you look in the email box, skip the first 25, and then give me an additional 25. So now you're looking at email 26 through 50.
I see it. I see skip. The skip is the number that we're skipping, not the number that we're bringing in. Yeah. I'm with you now, bud. Yep.
In fact, let's go ahead and do what we should be doing, Kurt, and comment our code, right?
Yeah, that's where I was getting confused at. I was correlating skip with the next, like I'm getting the top 25. No, we're skipping 25. Very good,
this
sir.
Number of emails at a time.
Yeah.
And we'll also say max is 25. Okay. And yeah, so this is a number that's incremented or decremented. Okay. So this is cool stuff. Data's king. I like how you deleted those emails. How can you forward an email to someone? Well, let's do that one next. And for this one, I'm going to say forward. Go in here. Try V2. Message ID. This item.id. Okay. 2 recipients. I'm going to send this to you, Kurt. Kurt. At nice.us. Okay. We've got that. And then we've got a third parameter, which is mailbox address. Okay. This is interesting. I'm going to open up the code window here. Let's put this on a separate line. This is how we forward email. Okay, so mailbox and all. Ooh, a comment. It looks like we got mailbox address and then a comment. I think those are the only 2 things we've got. Mailbox address. So I just told it who to send to. I think I would need to. Would you mind looking up that in the documentation, Kurt? So we're looking at forward email V2.
Yeah.
And see what this mailbox address is. And Ben says, would it help us to debug if Kurt sends 50 emails with 1, 2, 3, 4 as individual numbers in the subject? This would be a use case for me showing you guys how to send an email. Like we can do a for all cut
50
Kurt.
times.
Oh my goodness.
Times. Yeah.
So you guys, you could create a little mass emailing application with this thing. Now Microsoft might throttle you or lock you down there. Here's my comment. I'm going to put a date time stamp in here. Boom, now. Okay. And while you're working on that, Kurt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a bunch of emails to myself. And I'm going to do exactly what Ben says here. I'm going to say send 50. Okay, what are we going to do in this? Yeah, let's show spinner here. And take that out. Okay. So essentially what we want to do here, Office, Outlook, send mail V2. Okay. 2, you know what? I'm going to say user.email. Okay, there's that. What's the next thing? The subject. And I am going to say, I need a for all. For all. And I'm going to say sequence 50 as my. Put a little alias in there. Okay. Mm-hmm.
People pay big money for this.
What was that about, Kurt?
something big. Speaking
Did you find anything out?
Not yet. I'm still looking. I can't seem to find the function yet.
Okay.
It was requested though. We've had accelerator students asking about the PPC link to purchase PPC link. I don't know if you wanted to put that out there or not.
Absolutely.
Looking for this.
Yeah. You said those are accelerator students?
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So guys, if you guys sign up to be an accelerator student, I'm going to go over here to the link and I'm going to go in here and say PPC. You guys get all of our, priority stuff. So if an accelerator student needs something, I'm going to stop and help them out, because ultimately, guys, I'm gonna be honest. The accelerator students not only get our attention; they're a smaller, tight knit group of people, and you guys are who a lot of the videos we create comes from what our accelerator students need, and they help keep the lights on. They help me with all the cost of all of our business expenses. So I really appreciate you guys. So if there's anything I can do extra for you guys during a live stream, let me know. So absolutely. So I just put that link there. Now that is a link to the accelerator school. So that's only going to work for you if you're an accelerator student. But if you guys want to know more about the accelerator system, okay, I'm going to put a link at the very top if you want to know more about that. There we go. tinyurl.com/power apps accelerator.
Yeah, I'm still looking this up, but I'm listening to what you're saying. Book a call with us. We'd love to talk to you about where you're at with your Power Apps journey, what you're struggling with, and see if you're a fit for Accelerator. See if Accelerator fits for you. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I hope you're not waiting on me, because I'm not anywhere near finding anything yet. I'm trying some other paths here. I'm going to try to do something away from the forward part for a little bit.
Okay.
work on the other ones and see if I can figure something out?
Sure. I'm going to go in here and see if I can find anything forward. Yeah, that's not in there. Office 365. Okay, if I said on the forward button, say mailbox, if I can find anything. Oh, look, here's somebody out in the forums, the community, and they built their own little. I need to make that bigger so everybody can see it. Of course, let me get rid of some things here. So they've got all their email there. There's the client name, number of items, all that type of stuff. And let's see if they get their thing answered here. So we got attachments. No, I'm not seeing anything about forward here. Okay, it's their email address. Okay. It's sort of like the from. So this is how you would like if you were trying to forward something from a shared box, perhaps you would put that there. And I think in here, what I'm going to say is user that email. Okay, so I'm hoping that that works. And I'm going to click forward. Boom. And you see the champagne bubbles went across the top. Only you can tell me, Kurt, if you actually got that or not.
Only me. That makes me kind of special.
Well, I can make you not so special by putting somebody else's email address in here.
Well, that's just terrible. See, it's just he gives and then he takes away.
All right, so I'll include myself in that too.
Oh, I got it. Let's see. Wait a minute. No, that's something different. Where'd you forward to me?
Probably something I should.
I got it. Yep, I got it. Oh, this is just a stinker. Why am I not finding any good documentation?
It take long to forward an email, I tell you. This is really fun. I don't know why. It's like a database, email inbox or like database. You guys think about this. How many times in your when did emails come out? Become popular with the everyday person around 1997, 1998, or maybe 1995 for all I know.
Yeah, I was thinking about 95 they started being used, but I remember saying that one day your email address is going to be more important than your house address, and people thought I was crazy. I don't think I'm far off now.
What you can do, like we got a limitation of 25. Think about this, guys. If you have a Power Automate flow that, let's say you've got years worth of emails and you have a flow out there that transitions all your email data, all attachments, every single bit of information that you can suck down out of your email box and throw it into a SQL Server database. And you got that SQL Server database forever. And so you got all your Gmail accounts, you've got all your work emails that you've gotten over the years. You know how many times I'm like, oh, I've lost probably hundreds of thousands of emails over the years because, Outlook sometimes it will archive things and then you can only search back so many years. There's policy at companies you work for. I worked, for years at a place. I'm trying to find something from 4 years ago and I can only go back maybe 2 years or something. Very frustrating. But if you got something that's sucking all your email data and throwing it into a database over the years and you got your own little database, I learned something yesterday, Kurt, that's going to blow your mind and it's going to make you really excited. Are you ready? Do you like these?
I'm ready.
I'm going to show you something, Kurt. I'm going to go over to Azure and I set this up on my other tenant that we run, okay, for the business. If I go in here and I say, hey, give me a new SQL database, this is something that we saw before and I didn't think much of it. but this is huge. I'm creating a new SQL database. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Okay. Look at this. Do you want to pay $372.97 a month?
No,
I don't.
no.
That's a little bit much. Now we can do our own little dev database. We can change these things. Look at this. Want to try out SQL database for free? Create a free serverless database with the first 100,000 vCore seconds, 32 gigabytes of data. That's quite a bit of data. Like if you change these specs down to like maybe 2 gigs or 4 gigs and take a vCore away or something, this price will come down quite a bit. But why not get all this for free for the lifetime of your subscription? I don't know. That's a lot of space. Can you imagine if you put all your email data into 32 gigs? I think that's pretty awesome. I looked into this. I set one up because we're going to be setting up a public facing website for the company. And I'm like, I want to use .NET and an Azure SQL and
100,000 vCore seconds. How long is that? How long would that actually be in reality? What's that?
Sounds like a math problem to me.
Well, what's it really saying? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this. What happens is they recommend that you have auto pause or auto turn off.
Sure.
And
for obvious reasons.
So I'm going to put this in here. And what happens if you run out of the resources, it will just turn it off. And like you can't use it. But, but for something like if it's just like your own little personal database and you just hit it every once in a while, or it's just like a little repository, you just send all your email over there.
Yeah.
You got your email from all your email addresses over the years. I think that's really cool, man.
I do too. My only fear is that, see, sometimes these guys, they say this is free for this much, but then as soon as you reach that threshold, they start charging you, and they don't tell you. They just say, hey, and then all of a sudden you get in the mail, you got $500 bill in the mail. You're like, what? Yeah,
we're for an organization, man. They got all excited about Azure and they were using it, and then all the free stuff ended after a year, and it's like, oh, you got a $500,000 due.
It would be great if they would notify you, right? It'd be great if they would say, hey, you ran out of your time here. Do you want to do something, or we're going to shut it down? That'd be great. But nope. They just say, hey, you're going to start charging now, So I worry about that. But let me tell you guys, I don't know if you've done this. Maybe you have. But these virtual machines, now that we're up here talking about this stuff, we had a situation where we were working on a client, and I didn't have access to it we couldn't figure out why. I could not get in. It just sat there spinning its wheels, loading for hours and hours. So what Darren did is he said, well, let's just set up a virtual machine. So we went out there and we set up this virtual machine, and my goodness, it is so much faster than just running off of your local, you're running from your browser off of your local machine that's going in there. That thing it was almost faster than me. I could not click fast enough. It was going so fast. My Power Apps, my development of it, all of it. It was so fun working with a virtual machine. I'm sitting here trying to think how I can justify Darren just giving me an indefinite license to a virtual machine. Just let me operate from that, because it's just so much better,
Well, you guys know if you sign up, it's free to sign up for, an Azure account like this. And I think for the first 12 months, a lot of stuff is free. Then they've got something out there. Microsoft's got something, a bonus pack or a value pack.
Yeah.
It'd be $500 for a year, but you get so much stuff from it. It's just so,
Well, I'm just thinking if you could buy a cheap computer and you hook into that thing, a virtual machine for $500 a year, you've got a supercomputer going. You're way faster than you should see this crazy computer I got here in my house. And this thing blew my computer away,
yeah.
In fact, Darren, you should
just. This is out there in the cloud. Like you're talking to SharePoint. SharePoint's like the next server over, In
fact, you should show them a picture of my what I have over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it up.
This is what Darren has to work with all the time. Whenever he goes, what are you doing, Kurt? I'm lost.
Yeah, this is what I put up with every day. Hold on, I gotta make sure I zoom in. Now, are you talking about this one right here? No,
This was
that's not it.
This is when he was talking to me about something. Who knows? I don't know. He just starts talking. I start going. This is what I start doing.
I think we're in a meeting, and
oh,
you had a senior moment. Are you a senior citizen?
I'm almost. I actually
just did a senior moment.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the Teams message that you sent that in. I'm having a hard time finding it. Maybe it's over in ICQ.
ICQ, but that don't take too long on it. Let's.
Yeah. Our Saturday morning live streams are a little bit like a podcast or something.
It is.
And so I don't know, people do.
Cool it's Darren and Kurt in the morning.
Okay, I'm just making sure there's nothing being shown that's whatever. I want to make it smaller.
There we
go. Guys,
go.
If you ever get on a Zoom call with Kurt and he's talking to you and you ask him a question and his head goes like this, that's because he's got wraparound. This is like the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, and they've got all these screens and stuff. Yeah, who's the fighter pilot now, Kurt?
I have to have this just to keep up with Darren.
Who's the fighter pilot now?
Got the power, Darren. Who's got the power? I got the power.
Well, that was a little inappropriate, Kurt.
A little bit.
But guys, this is really cool. I want to do this, man. Look at this. This is free. It's free. It's free SQL stuff. But something I was gonna mention is if you go over to I'll bring up a incognito window here, and I will say do this right here, and we say Azure.com. Let's go there. All right, and you say get started or try Azure for free. It's probably the same thing. Maybe it goes to the same page. No upfront commitment. Pay for what you use beyond the free amount. So that's sort of what they're doing with that SQL Server. Okay, look at this. 12 months Azure virtual machines. Kurt, you can have 12 months of a free. Just create your own Azure. Do a Linux box, Azure SQL database. There's that free offer right there. Azure Blob Storage. It's like a playground for us app creators, app developers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this because I want to do that. That was just an idea I had here on on the air, and I absolutely want to do that. I want to create a database with all my emails, and I bet I could search for it a lot, much quicker than what Outlook does for me. I don't think I want any sample data in there. Go to tags. I don't use tags. I probably should. And I'm going to create, of course, it's going to take a few moments. So I'm going to let it do that. And I'm going to close down this other stuff that I don't need. Okay. All right. So we've done forwarding. Oh, Kurt, I'm sorry. I just forwarded you that email again. And I think I forwarded it to me. So if I said get email, I should probably see. Look at this. It actually added the FW on there. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
So now I can just sit here and, well, I don't want that one anymore. I'm going to delete it. Boom, gone.
So the code wasn't really that much. It was just 3 parameters, right? Or just 2 parameters?
To forward?
Yeah. So forward. Okay, so email, mailbox address, and a comment. That's it.
So what we can do, I can go over here to forward in the show notes. And I'm going to hit tab and paste, and that's not really all that great. I think that I might be able to this editor here. If I do 3 ticks and paste.
Yeah, I think that'll be really helpful. That'll be helpful for all the viewers to be able to see just the syntax, just for each thing.
Yeah. So if you guys email us at support@Nisus, I'll get the email. Kurt will get the email, as well as a few other people in my organization. So I'll put that code in there for you. And then what I'll do is I'll publish the changes so you guys will see this in the show notes. Okay. This is exciting. I'm curious what is in that ID. I want to see what's in that. Aren't you curious about that, Kurt?
It's probably GUID.
Oh, that's ugly.
It's a GUID.
Something. Yeah, that's they'll start with QWYJ. Yeah, I don't want to look at that anymore. All right, so we can forward, we can delete. Oh, I remember somebody suggests that we send 50 emails. Okay, we'll put a subject line in there. We don't want attachments. We don't want a BCC. So we really don't want anything in this parameter. And why is it giving me an error? Probably because I don't have enough parentheses right there. Let's try this out, Kurt. So I might get an error. If you try to send 50 emails immediately within your Office 365 account, I would imagine, oh my goodness, there it goes. Are you watching your email box, Kurt? This is hilarious. I've never had so much fun with Power Apps. This is amazing. Are you speechless again, or are you froze?
I'm still looking at stuff.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna click get mail, refresh my mailbox. Okay, I think I aired out at 30. I think there's a limit to how many emails you can send out that quickly.
They're probably gonna throttle you here.
Oh, here come the rest of them. Oh my goodness gracious. What did you say?
They're probably gonna throttle you.
Yeah. So it sort of did a pause on the 30, but it let me. So Rick seems to think this is pure gold, and Rick, I agree with you, man. Is this the first time you've used the email functionality within Power Apps? I've sent emails using this connector many times.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I haven't used it at all, and I think probably 99% of people are probably the same. But this is fun. So if I refresh my mailbox here, look at this. Now I got my 50. So now I can start removing these. Or I could do a for all that would, this is cool stuff. All right. What else can we do? Let's pull up our thing here. The thing. Reply to email. Okay. Well, let's do this. Now, realize, guys, you could be, if you guys are big on Power Automate flows, all of these parameters and stuff should work. I mean, it's the same connector that you're accessing, Canvas apps and then Power Automate. So you could be using all this stuff to do similar things. Reply to, okay. And go here. So this is essentially what you should be able to, let's say we use a connector like this all the time. It's like, okay, well, now I need to create a calendar or create an event on my calendar. You should be able just to go here and say Outlook and say, okay, what can I do here? Reply to 1, 2, 3. Well, gee whiz, I'm going to say the first one. And I'm sort of curious now that we know more about what it's allowing us to do and not allowing us to do is try to use the version 3 of some of these,
Right. So you see the reply to, you see the parameters when you go up there and you look at that. You see message ID, comment, reply all Boolean.
Okay. So I'm going to reply just to message ID. Okay. So the comment is, hey, just sending this back to you. Thanks. That would be a funny thing. Okay. And then, okay. So I'm going to comment this out because I don't think we've got all those things here. So what is the third parameter? Third parameter is reply to all. Okay.
And that should maybe be a little toggle, or
Oh yeah.
right.
Okay, reply to. Then I'm going to copy and paste this button. You're so smart, Kurt. You're so smart. And then this one, I think I set it to Drew on this. Yeah. So on this one, I'll say false. You ever been on an email chain and people keep hitting reply to all, and you're like, unsubscribe.
You could have a toggle on there where if you keep clicking it, it goes back and forth.
True. That's true. Well, what's the fun in that?
Okay.
Yeah, if I was writing a real app, I would probably do that. So let me open this up, and this is the email I just got.
Darren, you'll be surprised how many people are going to be using this in their office tomorrow. This is a real app.
Awesome. This is awesome. I love it. What else can we do here? All right. So we did the delete. Okay, so let me get some of this code in here so you guys can just copy and paste this stuff from the show notes. All right, so here's the delete. And I'm going to break this up into separate lines of code. All right. This is fun stuff.
I think you should try emailing multiple attachments from a SharePoint list.
We'll save that till later.
Okay.
I mean, I think we figured it out. I wouldn't be able to do that off the top of my head.
Not within Power Apps. We haven't.
Yeah, that was a topic that we all went over, and man, we had a lot of minds in the game figuring that one out.
I think they got it figured out in Power Automate, but they haven't figured it out for Power Apps yet.
Yeah.
It's got to be a way to do it, though.
So reply to. And I'll just do this. Okay. Reply to all. Delete email. We don't need that in there. Specific to my app. This is looking good. So yeah, we're using send emails up here in this send 50 where we use the for all. And I'm going to take that and put this in here. But I need to make sure I use backticks here. Okay. Get emails. I can zoom out a little bit. It's not easy to do that way. There we go. So what's your best dad joke, Kurt?
You always ask me that. I never have them.
It seems like you might need to put them in a database.
I need a database. I need a database. And that's why, we just can't take you anywhere.
This is why we can't have nice things, Scooter.
This is why we can't have nice things. Yeah.
All right. So we've got that. There's some code. All right. So I feel like we've really sort of, we did this email integration pretty well. My question to you guys, you feel like you understand how you can manipulate your email there. So let's open these up, and I'd like to do at least an overview. I don't know that we'll have time to go through all of these today. How are we doing on time? Kurt, I think we've got a meeting here in a little bit, and I think it's in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is if the response to this live stream is really high, like if it gets a lot of views, a lot of retention and everything, we might do some follow-ups. And guys, don't worry if you guys were following the live streams where we were covering the onboarding application using SQL Server, we're going to get back to that one.
Yeah, we're not
For
done.
sure.
We're not done. We just thought it would be good to break it up a little bit, go back and forth, go do the onboarding app, go on, do a little bit of other stuff, and go back to it, because it just, after a while, it starts becoming, monotonous after a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. So Dan asks about the shared mailbox. I believe so. Yeah, somebody asked that earlier, and can use a connection for as a shared box to send from, and we did that. Where did we do that? In the forward? You see where it says mailbox address? But you know what I could do is I could ask my buddy over here. And let's say we're using, I'll just straight up ask how to send an email with this connector. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing here, guys. It's no mystery. I'm using AI here. How to send an email with this connector from a shared mailbox. And it might just give me the code that I need to paste in there. And sometimes Chatty takes a little while to spit out its response. So while it's doing that, we could start a new button here. And I don't know that we have any shared mailboxes in this particular tenant, but tell you what it's telling me to do here. Ensure that the user whose credentials are used in the Power Apps has send as or send on behalf permissions. Okay, make sure that the shared mailbox is correctly set up in your environment. Okay, then use the connector. Okay, add it as a data source in the app. We'll say send email or the V2. I recommend V2, and it's in the from parameter. Okay, it's here. This is where you put it. Okay, now I'm going to put that code in the show notes for you guys. Okay, and then there's some considerations here. Yeah, permissions, connector capabilities, and you want to test it and troubleshoot before you move it out to production, right? So up here in send email is at the top. Yeah. I'm going to put in this code. I'm going to say 1-2 send from shared mailbox. And that doesn't look all that great, but if I do an indent, okay, so now you guys got some good stuff there for that. And I will push these changes out so you guys can see them. This is fun stuff. I was going to say we could have a checkbox in the gallery to select multiple emails to carry out bulk delete. Oh, I like that. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go down here. This is everything that we've done so far. So calendar management. Okay. We create an event, update an event, get events, delete. So Yeah, use Outlook for email, calendar, contacts, tasks, notifications and alerts, automation of workflows. This is really good stuff. I think the thing that I'd want to do here is, in Gmail, I feel like Gmail does a good job at sort of capturing people that are um, emailing us. Like I don't, Kurt, have you noticed with your Gmail, does it automatically capture the people that send email to you into your contacts, or you just right click and say add to contacts? I've been using Gmail for years and I'm not even sure.
Yeah, it does. It seems like it remembers them. Yeah.
And then there's people that have emailed me in my business account that I'm using Office 365, right? And man, I gotta like search. Oh man, I'm looking for that person's email address, you know. And it's like, why don't I have all my contacts of people that either have email? Well, of course, spammers email you, so you don't want to put those people in your contacts. But people that you've responded to, those people should go in your contacts somehow, right?
Yeah.
Just a thought. Right. Now I did want to share with you guys. You guys are probably interested in knowing more. And this is just a little short video that I think you guys might be interested. It talks about pretty much what the main thing that we do here. So enjoy this. Microsoft Power Apps has been the key ingredient for the hundreds of people that we've helped dominate in their organization. With this one skill, you're able to simplify processes for countless tasks like tracking leads, doing inspections, logging attendance, booking desks in a shared office, generating reports, tracking employee performance, and the list goes on. If you have a project that you need to get done, or you're an IT professional or a developer, or if you plan to eventually do some freelancing work with Microsoft Power Apps, I am literally the only person you need to accomplish your goals. Spreadsheets and all the old ways of doing things are becoming redundant, and the people who are able to build Power Apps are going to accelerate their professional career so much faster than everyone else who's okay being average. I have over 20 years experience as a software developer and have been working in Power Apps for over 3 years. We have lots of course material for you, but if you're eager to accelerate your expertise with Power Apps at a much faster pace and want to work directly with me, this is what me and my team are going to do for you. Number one, we're going to figure out exactly what projects and skills you're working on and the overall end goal. Number two, we're going to get clear on exactly what data sources are needed for your projects. If it's a particular project with a deadline, we're going to work with you to make sure that you meet that deadline. And number four, we're going to work with you to make sure that you master the platform. So not only can you finish any projects that you're currently working on, but the projects that come up in the future. And you might want to take those skills and become a freelancer in the future. If that sounds like something that you're interested in and you want to expedite the process of being able to build apps that can literally be used for years, and you want to be an important asset to your organization and any future companies you work for, click the button below and we can have a 15-minute chat about what you're needing and how we can help. What do you think about Kurt? All right. So, Ben, I think that's a great idea. So I feel like this screen really isn't complete until we add this. This would be a thing to add, and I think it's something that people might be really interested in seeing. So if we go in here and we add a checkbox, I'm going to add a checkbox here. And we might want to have that right there and take out the string and maybe make it not so wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over. There we go. That looks nice, huh? And then, so here is the name of the gallery. And in this button, I'm going to say delete all the selected ones. Okay. So I am going to move stuff around so you guys can see the window better here. Mm-hmm. And so what we'll do a for all, and we'll look at the gallery, and we'll say dot all items. But really, we don't want all the items. We want to filter this. Filter this. But I only want to see, what is it? Checkbox 2 or something like that. We should have named it. Okay, and it's check. I'm looking at the tree view there on the left side, and I say dot value. Okay, so if a checkbox is checked off, the value is going to return true. Okay. And this second parameter of a filter is looking for a Boolean value. So we don't need to compare checkbox.value equals true, right? That's one of Kurt's pet peeves if he sees that, right?
Yep.
All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go grab the code from the delete. So simple. There we go. And we'll go in here. And then instead of saying this item only can be used inside of a gallery. Now we're not in a gallery. We're in a button above the gallery there. So instead of that, we've got an alias that we've created by using the as keyword. Make sure I'm always at 150. All right. And then I'm going to say my.id. Okay. Now, Kurt, I feel like I created a mess here with all these automated emails. And what I'm going to do is I don't like odd values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select every other. 975.
That's somewhat odd of you.
Some of these buttons in the way, I can't see it. I think what I will do is I'll take this and bring this in a little bit. That might make it easier on me. Okay, and I'm only looking for odds. You know what we should do is we should make the background color of these rows like have every other like a light gray or something. Have you ever seen that in like a data grid?
Yeah. Back in the old days, you're trying to make it look like the 70s again, huh? With
I guess so.
With that paper, that green and white stripes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I've got some selected here, and I'm going to say delete selected, and hopefully we won't get any errors. So Kurt, you go ahead and cross your fingers for me.
Okay.
And it looks like we have only even emails now until I scroll down, right? And I see there's one, there's a 23. I see a 19, a 17, 15, 13. Delete. So there you go, guys. So as you guys have suggested things, I've sort of changed this thing up to sort of show us what we can do here. This is really cool. It's been pretty fun. And I think what's really important about this is
people pay big money for this.
You know, that's a good point, Kurt. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Remember, guys.
Remember, guys. Yeah, just remember that. And guys, the one thing that you guys can do to help out the channel is to leave a comment. It's like a cool thing to get a subscribe or even a like on the video. But when you comment, even if it's, hey, you misspelled something or whatever, it's still it lets YouTube know that maybe it's a good comment. It's worth actually responding to. So if you guys like or comment, it really helps things out. So anyhow. And YouTube thinks you're going to like this video next. Let's see if they're right. Or you can select this playlist, which I've selected for you based on the content you're currently watching. Guys, got to hurry. Click one of them. Otherwise, YouTube's going to autoplay